Alright y'all, welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at the QuietComfort Ultra from Bose, the second generation. Currently, if you guys don't know, my main set of headphones is the first generation. I've been rocking this since, I don't know, 2024? It's been a minute, but these have gone through the trenches and I think it's finally time to put these down. Through the course of time, the battery degradation is a thing and it just does not last nearly as long as it used to be. But these are still one of the goated pair of headphones, only because they can fold up like this and you can just, they're super comfortable, super maneuverable. So I figured, let's finally put these down into retirement and introduce ourselves to the second generation QuietComfort Ultras. Now, real quickly, these are going to run you, well, I bought it for $399, and I think that's the price you should pay for it. Anything less is obviously better, but anything more, I don't think so. The retail price, the original retail price is $449. I do not think it's worth that price. I think their cost is just, I can't see myself paying that much for a plastic build. That's just not my cup of tea. That being said, what are you getting with the second generation versus the first generation? First, you're getting a better battery life. Has 40 hours of playback without ANC and 30 hours with ANC. You're also getting quick charge on these headphones. You're also getting USB-C lossless audio, and as well as you can use these while it's charging through the USB-C port. Yeah, I know, it sounds like a big deal, but trust me, the first generation, as soon as you plugged it in, you couldn't use it, and you just have to wait for it to charge. You can't use it, you just have to wait for it to charge up, and this does not have quick charge. So, this, I believe, is like 10 minutes, you get like almost 10 hours of playback, something like that. It's really damn good. But, as for the box, it's exactly the same as the first generation. On the side, there's nothing. On the back, step into sound, you get iPhone, iPad, it works with Android, Spotify Tap, Snapdragon Sound, and the Bluetooth. Also, I forgot, this does have an updated Bluetooth codecs, so that is awesome. Over here says sound is power, and that's about it. Now, here is the pull strip, so we're just gonna go ahead and just pull that here, okay. Pull that out. Oh, it's stuck. All right, so here's the box. Pop this open real quickly. Now, I did get mine in white because, I don't know, I really like the white one. I thought it looked it looked different, honestly, in the photos. So I really like the white. Now, we'll see how it does with, you know, wear and tear, the dirt, if it actually gets dirty faster than the blue one did. It probably is a yes. Now, that's the case. In the box, you just get, I don't know, like filler paper and books and stuff. And then on here, this is the QR code for the app. You're definitely going to want to get the app for this. And then on this side, it just tells you pretty much the button layouts. It's exactly the same as the first generation. So, that's pretty much it. All right, now here's the QuietComfort Ultra second generation. Now, in terms of the case, it is exactly the same as the first generation. This is, I think, a fake leather, but it's definitely some type of leather, but it might be faux leather, vegan leather, something like that, because this is not plastic. Nice zipper, nice carrying case. You can also carry it like this, but I think, yeah, there's a little loop. You can tie a carabiner clip if you wanted to. Now, real quickly, just pop this open. Again, I did get mine in the white or silver version, which means we will be getting color-coded USB-C to USB-C cable right here. You also get I believe that's a 2.5 to a 3.5 millimeter. And that's about it. I'm just going to put that back real quickly. And now here are the QuietComfort Ultra second generation. Wow, right off the bat, these feel a little bit heavier. I'm not gonna lie. I think these are a little bit heavier than the first generation. Yeah, they do feel a slight bit heavier. Let me fold them up real quickly, so like it's fair. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm tripping or not, but the second generation definitely feels a slight bit heavier. Not like dramatic, like not crazy, but they do feel a little bit heavier. I wonder if it's because of the polish sides. As you can see, this is the side rail is polished, whereas opposed to first generation, it's matte finish and painted in the same color. This is chrome and it's white. So we're gonna see how this stands the test of time. Now on the side, you get the Bose insignia. On the bottom, you get this strip right here, which a lot of people don't know what this strip is for. This is actually volume up, volume down, and if you press and hold it, it actually activates your assistant. So I'm not gonna say what it is, but you know what I'm talking about. Now, over here is the power button. You can also cycle through devices with this one. And on this is the actual play, pause button. You can skip tracks, reverse tracks, and you can also, if you press and hold this button, you cycle through the audio modes. Like if you want quiet comfort, you want ANC on, ANC off, you want immersion, stuff like that. That's basically what this button does if you press and hold it. And on this side, I believe is, yes, exactly the same. USB-C and the 2.5 millimeter output to whatever you plug it into. And on the inside, it has the cups, and then it says over here, right, and then this is left. They are extremely lightweight, extremely lightweight. You can see there's so many mics around this thing. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and just stretch these out a little bit so you can see that these are pretty much identical to the first generation in terms of fit and feel. I think this does feel a little bit heavier. I don't know if I'm tripping, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this on my head real quickly. So this feels exactly like the first generation, you know, like a little bit newer, of course. The pads are a little bit tighter. The headband is a little bit tighter. Everything is still brand new, so it's still a little bit tighter. It's not as worn down as the first generation is. But in terms of like physical, like everything looks identical. It's more on the inside, like everything, the button layouts, the USB-C port, everything is exactly the same, but everything that's changed is on the inside. Now real quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and power this on, and then we're gonna go to, you can see the light, the LED just is flashing blue, and then I just heard the Bose assistant. Now real quickly, we're gonna go to the iPhone real quick. We're gonna go here, go over here, and now we're just going to see, okay, we're waiting for the Bose to come up. It's connected to my iPhone. So real quickly, we're gonna go ahead and just open up the Bose app. We're just gonna press the plus button, then set up a new product. It's gonna already pick up the, yep, there it is, the second generation. And here is where you can tweak the EQ and just change up stuff. Now, I'm gonna name this, let's see, Fathom, Fargo, earmuffs. These are kind of like earmuffs. All right, so now we have the app ready and set up. This is what it looks like. Currently, it says we got 60% on the QuietComfort Ultra 2s. And this is what it looks like. You got mode, source, noise control, immersive audio. You get the EQ, the shortcut, tips, and product support. Now go ahead and tap into the modes. This is how you can cycle through the ANC on or off, or if you want like a little bit of a spatial audio, like a 3D effect, that's right here, that's immersion. But this also turns on ANC if you do activate that. Now the aware, I can already tell that the ANC, the awareness, the ambient mode is better than the first generation. I can hear myself a lot more clearly. I can hear that. I can hear, like, the ANC and the ambient mode is, when you get Bose products, you know what you're getting. They are top, like, God tier type of headphones when it comes to ANC and stuff like that. Like when it comes to noise cancellation, Bose and Sony, they got it locked down. They know how, they figured it out, and they know how to do it right. As soon as you press quiet, everything becomes absolutely insanely quiet. Same thing with immersion. Now, if you want to real quickly add a new one, you add a custom one. Let's say music, right? Now you can go ahead and actually customize this if you want ANC, how much ANC you want, if you want more, if you want little, and you can hear it real time. Right now, it sounds like ANC is on. Now, if you don't want it, now it sounds like I'm ambient. Now I can hear this. You can also add wind block if you want that. But I guess if you add wind block, it automatically turns on ANC. Then you can also adjust the immersive audio if you want it still, or if you want head tracking, which is motion, stuff like that. But for me personally, I actually just like the 3 right here. If I really want another one, then I would add another one. But for me personally, I think these 3 are absolutely fine. Next, you have the source, which is the multi-point connection. If you wanted to add another device, you just press add new, and then you can basically pair this up to I think two devices at the same time, and you can switch between them like pretty much instantly. So you can do that with this. All you gotta do is just press add new. Multi-point connection is a thing for these headphones. Next, you have noise control. This is basically a toggle. You can have this active or you don't, it's up to you. But this is basically a ANC personalization kind of toggle. So right now I have it set to where this level lets in the most sounds from outside. So if I want to just bounce it up a little bit, I want just a little bit of ANC, you can do that. If you want, you know, in the middle, this lets some outside sounds. And then this blocks out most of them, and then this blocks out pretty much as it can. And there are individual like grooves of how much you can set them like this. So that's how that works. The next one is immersive audio. This is basically like a 3D audio surround sound. Basically, this lets the audio become 3D around you. And this is like head tracking, so the audio follows you. Now this is like best when you're moving around, but this is when it's like when you're sitting in a still place, this is good for you. So I like to have mine when it's on, when my mode is on aware, I like to have everything just off so I can hear everything. The next thing is the EQ. Now it's only a 3-band EQ, it's not like crazy, but you have the flexibility to change it. If you think they have too much bass, you can knock them down all the way up to -10 or +10. And same thing with the mids, and the same thing with the treble. You can pretty much adjust it on the fly, however you want to do it. Okay, so the next thing is the shortcut, which is the little slit on the bottom right here. This slit right here, if you press and hold it, you'll basically activate this shortcut. And basically, you have these 4 settings that you can do. You can hear the battery level of the actual headphone. You can change the immersive audio, whether you want it to be still, motion, or just off. Or you can have it activate your assistant, which that's the one that I usually do. Or you can use this to resume Spotify, but I don't really, that's kind of, I don't know, because this button is already playing pause, so it doesn't really, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why that one's there. Anyways, that is the app for the 2nd generation. It's exactly the same as the 1st, except that the noise control is adjustable for the 2nd generation. So let's go ahead and just open YouTube Music. Let's play some Pa Me by Tory Lanez. Real quickly, I want to show y'all something. When you take this off, it automatically pauses. But let me just show y'all the difference between 1st generation and 2nd generation. You plug this in, you want to, let's say it's dying, plug this in, it's charging, press the play button, it still plays, bro. That's crazy. We can't do that on the 1st generation. I'm just telling y'all, that's such a, whew, that is a nice feature. That is nice to have. Okay, going back to the music. Let's go ahead and go back. Okay, wow. My God, yo, the bass is crazy on this. I know I have it cranked to 10, but even at 0, it's still phenomenal. But the mids and the treble, I noticed a huge difference between the first generation. They are super, like they're noticeable on the second generation. They are crystal clear. You can hear the mids clear as day, and when you tweak the treble, you can hear it clear as day that the sound is becoming a little bit sharper, a little bit clearer. You can hear the differences between the mid and the treble. The bass, obviously you hear a difference in the bass, but it's these two that I'm noticing that there's actually a pretty significant difference between this and the first generation. The first generation, it sounds a little bit more muddy. This is definitely way more clearer. Alright, so I went back and forth between the first generation and the second generation, and there's a couple of things that I want y'all to know. First off, the mids and the treble on the second generation, you could definitely hear there's a big difference between this and the first generation. And the bass, I don't know if I'm tripping, but the bass on the first generation is a little bit stronger. I'm not sure if it's just because of the age and the wear of my actual drivers. I don't know if because, through the course of time, obviously the drivers were able to adapt a little bit to real life, whereas opposed to the second generation, they're brand new. I don't know. But the point is I'm thinking that the Bose, the QuietComfort Ultra first generation, the bass is a little bit punchier. I don't know if I'm tripping, but the mids and the treble really shine on the second generation. But is it a big deal? Not really. The mids and the treble make up the difference on the second generation. And I showed you guys on the second generation that you can still use this and charge it at the same time. That alone, I think, is a pretty damn big deal. And you also get quicker charging, you get longer battery life, you get better ANC, better Bluetooth codecs, and the list goes on. For me personally, I think the QuietComfort Ultra second generation is here to stay. I think the first generation can officially retire. These have been the GOATs. These have been the go-to headphones for me. But they can finally rest because now the second generation will take its place. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for my video on the Bose QuietComfort Ultra second generation. Let me know what you guys think. Again, for the price, $399, I think is a pretty damn good deal. Anything less is obviously better. Anything more, I think you're just, just wait. Wait another week or so, then they'll be on sale. I guarantee it.